Hey, God bless you, everybody. I'm not going to be before you too long. I just want to tell you this dream and give you an interpretation and, what you can do to help mitigate the issue in the dream. So, in the dream, I was in the Bahamas and I was with a friend, and her sister was in the hospital. And in the dream, I knew that she was going to die. And I told my friend that, to call me if she needs me, but I was going to Kohl's, which is a store that has, clothes and stuff in it. So I was going to Kohl's. And when I was in Kohl's, I saw these boots, and the brand name was Coach. Like the brand. Like people get Coach bags and stuff like that, but it was Coach boots. And I remember them being 20% off, and I was just like, well, it's not worth it for only being 20% off. I need more to be off. And then all of a sudden, I was eating a burger, and I got to the middle of the burger, and it was red, and I began to spit it out. And I remember saying, it's E. coli, it's E. coli. This is why my friend's sister is in the hospital. And I began to spit it out, and I woke up spitting it out. Now, I know there's a lot of stuff out there about, when you eat something in the dream, it's witchcraft, this, that, and the other thing. But I won't say that's like that 100% of the time. But with anything, you need to go to God anyway. So I asked God, what does this mean? I said, am I to take this literal? Like, is there going to be like an E. coli outbreak? And I said, before I go out and say something like that, I need confirmation. So I asked the Lord. And the Lord dropped in my spirit homonyms or homophones. And so I knew he was telling me to go back, look back into the dream and see where he used homonyms for confirmation, because God leaves little clues. He does like play on words. And so I look back into the dream, and I was like, okay, why would God use the word coal, like going to the store coal? So it's the coli part in E. coli. So he's using coal as a homophone. And homophone is basically a word that has different meaning but has the same sound. So like there and there. So like there as in THEIR, and there THERE. Two different words, but they sound the same. So I was like, all right, then that's confirmation right there. The coal and E. coli basically sound the same. So then I said, well, why is God using the word, using Bahamas? So I looked up Bahamas, and turns out, well, tomorrow is Christopher Columbus Day. Turns out that Christopher Columbus, when he went to the Bahamas, he called it Bahamar, which means shallow water. And that's one of the ways that you can get E. coli from shallow water. Like if you swim in or something like that, and you got a kid with a poopy diaper, and some of the water get in your mouth, or just, you go to a pond or something and animals have been pooping in there and the stuff get in your mouth, you could get E. coli that way. And then the Coach, I was like, well, why would God use the brand name Coach in the dream? Long story short, Coach, if you think about it, Coach mean, like if you say you flying coach, that means you're going to the economy class. That's also E code. It also sounds like E. coli. But it also, another meaning, the reason why God used this is because Coach is considered something to be cheap. And so I believe God is saying we need to watch trying to save a buck and get this cheap behind meat that is not cared for correctly. Now, there's been a lot in the news lately about this genetically whatever, making some meat in a barrel type stuff, letting it clone itself and all this crazy stuff, for the sake of trying to get something cheap. People are willing to do anything. to have meat and at a cheaper price. And so we have to watch those particular stores that we go to that are known for making things very, very, very cheap. And we have to watch going into those stores and buying those types of meats from those stores. So what I'm gleaning from this is that there's most likely going to be an outbreak. And I believe the E. coli part of it is that, you know, and you can figure out whoever the they is, they are always lying to us about outbreaks and food safety and things that they're doing to the food. So we have to be vigilant. We have to buy and grow our own foods. I've come on here many times and said that before. We definitely have to grow our own foods. A lot of people are getting their own chickens and stuff now because it's better to know what's going on with your food. And if you haven't noticed, everybody getting sick, everybody getting these different metabolic syndrome, they call it. And then they're getting metabolic syndrome. They're getting what do they call it when you have like lupus, immuno something, I don't know, immune disorders. People are getting this stuff, and it's because of the food. But I think specifically, this dream specifically talking about E. coli, like literal E. coli. And usually during the summer, they said, because when I did my research, they said during the summer, E. coli is the worst. But now in my area, we're into autumn now. So I don't know when exactly this is going to happen, but just act like it's happening yesterday and make changes, whatever changes you need to do. And even the lettuce, a couple years ago, we had E. coli lettuce outbreak. We gotta, like I said, if you can't grow your own food, then you need to find out there's a specific way that you can wash lettuce to help lower the chances of you getting the type of E. coli that's deadly. Because apparently we all have E. coli in our digestive tract, but it's not the strain that is deadly. But there's a way to wash your lettuce so that less of that bad E. coli is in there. And then I don't know if the shallow water part has to do with, maybe there could be a poisoning of the water supply coming down the line, which, years ago I might have thought that was so far-fetched, but as you see more and more that water supplies right here in America are becoming or already are contaminated. So we need to find ways to help mitigate that, whatever it is that, we can do. But with anything, even with all that, pray over all your food, pray over everything that you get, give thanks to God for it and pray over it. And then, just ask the Lord to cover it. If there's anything in there that is not right in your food, just ask the Lord to bless it and cover it and let it have no hurt or harm towards you. In Jesus' name. All right, so that's it. I said a lot. I hope it made sense. All right, well, God bless you until we meet again.